And in your estimation, they don't need to provide it. You just said it.
Yes, that's true.
Why do you think they don't need to provide it?
I mean, because some of at the time that I even went there, the place was virtually empty. Virtually empty.
Exactly.
I mean, I was the only one accessing service. But I mean, all those.
So per Ebo's argument, should we create more jobs at that place for people to go there?
I don't think he's advanced that argument. I don't think he's advanced that.
I've not advanced that argument.
But that's fine. I mean,
but by Kofi's suggestion that you should give people money, you should go and ask those who understand the issues. It will create the kind of inflation we cannot control. No. Because you have not done enough of production.
No problem.
To balance the demand and supply situation.
Okay.
So that one.
If you wrap up for me,
so that one you need to understand that.
Wrap up for me in a minute. Then move on.
The point that I'm making to you is that 24-hour economy is not a bad thing. You read to me 3 pillars, and I simply ask you, was there a pillar that talks about how they are going to drive demand? Okay. How they are going to drive demand? America is a consumer economy, largely driven on credit system. Okay. But America has one of the lowest inflation rates in the world.
Okay. Let me come to AB now. AB, that's the verdict of the MPP on the 24-hour economy at this stage. I can assume you don't agree.
Well, this is a transformational strategy, which for me is a masterclass. Nobody has said that 24-hour economy is the newest thing on earth, and that to say it is not new, therefore means that we are not doing anything. Nothing on this universe is new. Nothing under the sun is new. But the way you coordinate the activities that will benefit you is what we are talking about here. What he spoke about, create demand, is not what he explained. What he explained about was about disposable income, my brother. Me, I've done my economics. Demand, creating demand means desire and willingness to pay for a product. That's different from, do people have disposable income to pay, to buy? The American situation where they were giving money to people to buy was not creating demand. It meant that there was already a desire to acquire. Then now they give them disposable income to acquire. So if his argument is about disposable income, he should situate it well. If his argument is about demand, he should situate it well. Demand would be available provided that the goods are the goods and services that people desire to buy. So if you look at the three pillars, the first one is modernizing agriculture, and that's why you spoke about the production transformation. So under the 24-hour economy, modernization of agriculture requires mechanization, automation, move from this hard labor, cutlass and hoe type of thing, move away from it and modernize agriculture. Irrigation. You get my point? Yeah. The next one is supply chain efficiency. And that's why I'm saying that this whole thing is a masterclass, because if we do it well, like Ebo is saying, this economy will have people coming into this country rather than we crossing the Sahara Desert to go and look for greener pastures. The next one I was talking about was market efficiency. That's supply chain. Who doesn't know around this table that our products, our produce, rot at the farm gate? Who doesn't know that? Who doesn't know when you are traveling from Accra to Kumasi, you see our plantain rotting and sitting by the roadside? Who doesn't know that? So how do we turn around that? How do we ensure that the plantain person can as it were, add value to all these products? The third one is the human capital that you spoke about. We need a mindset. Human capital, we need a mindset. We need to transform our thinking. Why is it that when you want to build a house, you go and look for Togolese masons and POP people? Why?
Cheap labor.
Then also, it's about the fact that they wouldn't say that today my child is sick, so I can't come to work and continue with what I started a plaster. Mindset. Mindset. So, if you put all this together, the three, it will give you like 8 or 9, what do you call it? The Grow Ghana thing, what do they call that one? The Grow Ghana, produce more, wear Ghana, make Ghana, which is the textile area. So there will be several industrial areas that this tray will feed into. You get the point? And so I heard the MPP opposition in parliament making noise about the authority. Look at all the things I've said. And you remember during the, we have to give incentives to the private sector to also come into the 24-hour economy. You know, Akabile, you're not listening to me.
I'm listening to you with rapt attention.
You know, we said we'll give incentives, electricity, security, and then what? Is it water or something? Now, you need a centralized coordinating point. Because if I set up my company, I will not be walking to IGP and say, IGP, I want 14 policemen. Then he said that, ECG, I want the electricity free of charge. There must be a centralized coordinating point which will take on board all these things. I am not supposed to be doing the legwork for that. There should be an authority that will be doing the legwork. We have 14 companies, private companies that have come in. 15 of them are complete. They want electricity tariffs to come down. There must be a... Are you understanding? I'm practicalizing it. The factory owner must not be the one walking to ECG, walking to IGP. Do they now understand why there must be an authority for that? You heard them make those... Okay. Arguments. I wanted to use an adjective before that one. Those arguments.
Stick to arguments.
Yes.
You are fine with that.
Yes, that, you can just start it. You don't need an authority. But look at the things I've just talked about. How does the one who is putting his money into the 24-hour economy, establishing factories, be the same person to be walking to institutions asking for? Don't you need to incentivize them? So that's the reason behind the authority. And it's the coordinating authority that will deal with all over the country, all the industries that want to come on board to deal with the 24-hour economy. So for me, I am of the view that what is critical is that we shouldn't fall into the trap or fall into the situation where the MPP found itself in the free senior high school program when they started, and it was so haphazard. Our children were sleeping in places that we didn't want them to be sleeping in. We must start this project well, and if it means going by what Ebu has said, let's go by it and then graduate it. Okay. And I even heard Guzitano saying that it's not going to be an event. It's going to be a process. And I think that the beginning is key and important. Let's get our acts well so that this policy doesn't also suffer the same fate like other policies that we had. You mentioned some of them here. Planting for food and job, the students, those NAPCO and those things. A failure of this project will be so monumental that it will not be in the interest of the people of this country.
Let me come to you now, Senior. I mean, so far, what we've heard in relation to the campaign conversation, are you able to put the two side by side, and do you get a sense of a clear direction that we are heading to in terms of what government wants to do?
When you say campaign, good morning to our viewers and good morning to my fellow panelists. When you say campaign, you mean before the election?
Before the elections, absolutely.
And then now?
Now, yes.
If you remember, before the election, I remember President Mahama indicating that it's not everywhere where 24-hour can be applied. There are certain areas where it's necessary, and he mentioned places like the port, and there are certain areas that really and truly it would not be necessary to have 24-hour. But looking, when it started, everybody wasn't too sure what this 24-hour thing was about. It looked as if it was just rhetoric, and there was no plan to it. Bringing it to today, we see that there is a plan by bringing in a policy. That is the first step. The most important thing is how you now implement and put that policy into action. Because there are certain attributes that would either play against or contribute to the implementation of the 24-hour economy. So let me look at some. It should be based on a robust economy. So if you don't start working on the economy today, it's going to be very difficult to put it in focus. Because with a shaky economy, really and truly, things can go haywire. We saw it in the last 8 years. It should be based on a strong cedi. There are attributes to having a strong cedi and having a weak cedi, but you should be able to make sure that you can handle any fluctuations in the cedi, because whatever you're doing in terms of 24-hour is linked into people, earning revenue out of what they are doing. Then there is international pressures with some of the goods that we're looking at, the agricultural goods, pricing. So, for instance, right now, cocoa is a typical example, where cocoa, once upon a time, was 5,000. It's dropped right down to 3,000. And so if you're planning and you don't plan well, it can affect the outcome of the results you get in how you export your cocoa. But hopefully, that won't happen, because what are we saying? Adding value to cocoa. And we know that when you add value to cocoa, you earn more money that way than exporting whole. And the president has said that we're going to stop all this, exporting whole. Then the areas of concentration, I guess that are the 4 pillars that is in there, the value added bit. For me, the plan of this 24-hour economy should be linked into a national development plan. Now, why do I say that? The NDC has only 4 years. They don't have 8. They have 4. If it so happens that they come back the next 4 years, then the implementation can stretch longer. However, it's only 4 years. If another government comes into place,
They have 2 years, 10 months left.
I'm not talking about. I'm not coming. I'm not talking. I'm not.
In context. That statement is in context. After the election, you have 4 years.
You said 4 years, no guarantee. You didn't say anything.
No, what I'm saying is that it was in context. You are taking it out of context.
The conversation.
But you taking it out of context.
The conversation
is in your interest, because you are counting. But the counting too, you count, you won't count and finish, because you won't come.
Mr. Dantua, don't worry. Let me show you that I was listening to you. They were not listening to Mr. Dantua. The conversation is about. We were talking about the need to ensure that it sits within a development plan. Mr. Janto, proceed for me. How it should sit within a development plan. So that whether it is 8 years or infinite.
Election cycle is 4 years, 4 years, 4 years. This 24-hour economy didn't start 2 years. it started before even the last election.
Yeah, you're right.
So 4 years. Now, you have only 4 years, and you've got to be able to be sure that those pillars that you choose, is going to make a transformational change going forward. Very important. Then the attributes that will make this work, that you've got to be able to make sure that when these attributes are in place, there is no wahala. Energy, road transportation, transparency of projects, private sector involvement without any party bias. That this is NDC business, this is MPP business, this is CPB business, we cut you aside. No, that shouldn't be in. Business is business. And make sure that everybody who wants to be part and parcel of the 24-hour economy, it doesn't matter which party you belong to. Open it up, because what are you trying to do? You're trying to create substantive jobs for people. And please remember, and I think it was either Kofi or AB talked about it, which is very, very important. Cost of production. Cost of production. And at the AGI, it is one thing that
was Ebo who said that.
Okay. It is one thing that we look at, cost of production. And cost of production is linked into interest rates. Because if you have interest rates that are galloping, cost of production is galloping, like now things are getting better, it means that all the losses that I made because of the galloping interest rates and the weak CD, I would have to make my money back when things are better. No be so.
How is the argument tenable? You were pricing it very high too. I heard your boss, your man say that on TV, on radio. How would you be recouping what you lost? But when at that time, you were increasing it. That argument should not stand. You people should reduce prices. That's all.
Look, people go for loans in banks to handle their business. No be so. And if the interest rate is so high and the city that would help the business to move is wobbly, and I have bought things at a certain expensive price, what do you expect me to be able to do?
Don't complain. And you also sold it at a certain price.
And even at that certain price,
So why are you economical? Why are you economical in your analysis?
When you were talking, I was
No, but you cannot mislead.
No.
This is emotional. This is emotional because the prices
down.
When you go to the shop, it affects all of us
I
here.
said write it down. When you were talking, I was quiet.
Okay, we'll come back. We'll come back.
No, people, when you were talking, when you were talking, I was quiet.
You have to open the next
Write
page.
it down.
You have to open the next page. The page is free. Mr. Jantua, go
He's
ahead.
intentionally doing that so that my train of thought goes off. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Okay, I'll let you finish.
Let me finish. Bought it at a certain rate. Huh? And even sometimes what they bought, not sold. What happens to that one too? So the point I'm making is that we need to look at and have a good eye where cost of production is concerned.
Okay.
Now remember, we are not only creating jobs. We are not only creating jobs. We are developing a nation. Because in creating the jobs, you fix your roads, you fix your energy, you fix all sorts of things. So as you are creating the jobs, it's also developing the country. And that is why the time frame is so important. I've talked about interest rates in the private sector, but I think government should also not wait for the private sector to come in. They should lure them in. They should lure them in. Yes, they should lure them in. And let the private sector tell them exactly where the challenges are. Exactly the kind of commodities that would help the country grow. And also those commodities that create capital flight for us. The private sector has to be part and parcel of it. It shouldn't only be government. I would like to see a situation that after this policy is in place, government calls private sector, sit down, let's see how we get this thing moving.
Okay.
So that they are part and parcel of it. Don't say, okay, I haven't finished.
Yeah, you're almost done. You're almost done, actually.
Now, let me try and answer Kofi's problem about demand. There's already existing demand. And I'll give you a typical example of fuel. We import fuel, don't we? Tons and millions of dollars go out there. If we are able to add value, and thank God we have oil, if we are able to add value to our own oil and create the kind of fuel that we're importing, is that not an existing demand? And is there not added demand where you can also export into the sub-region and create foreign exchange back in? So there is already demand in so many things. It depends on how you align your priorities and the kind of areas you look at, especially for this period. And I like what Ebo said, that it has to be done in phases. And those phases should be very, very clear. No ambiguity, so that people can understand. Now, the planning bit is where the authority has come in, where the law is concerned. For me, that's the planning bit. Without a plan, forget this thing. There has to be a plan. And for me, the authority bit should be linked into a development plan. The development plan should be acceptable to all, so that at least whatever we are doing is concretized in there and we are moving, even if the government changes. Because the phases that Ebo is talking about have become successful, any government that comes in would have to follow it up. Let me end by saying that it's not only putting in the policy, it's not all the things I've said, it's not only that, but most importantly, it is the education of the 24-hour economy. People hear what the 24-hour economy is. From this point on, we need to go into schools, we need to look at the private sector, we need to look at the small-scale enterprises for them to understand what is this 24-hour economy about. Get out there, put your people out there. And it's not only government people. Businesses, come to the AGI. Let us sit together and see how we educate the masses as to what this 24-hour economy is all about. Once people get hold of it and understand what it is, they would all fill into the gaps. And then we can start the implementation and start it strong.
Okay. Maybe you wanted to make some points a minute.
The issue is a very emotional issue where the economy is doing well, but you go into the shops and prices are still high. And I heard the AGI president this morning said that because they recorded losses when prices were high, they will have to recoup. And I say a simple knowledge of the market will tell you that when the prices were going, they were also transferring the prices to us, and we're buying. Don't we need to have a relief now? And who says that because at that time they didn't buy your goods, we, the sellers, the buyers, should suffer? If you don't know the type of goods that need demand in the country and you bring anything, it's not my business.
So who said that happens?
Because if your goods were in demand, they would have been bought. So now that they were not bought, you can't transfer that to us now when the economy is doing well.
Okay.
I think that we need a competitions commission, like in South Africa, that has the power. It's a statutory body that has the power to look at pricing, whether your price is commensurate with the product, your inputs. So how much did you buy this? How much are you selling it? There must be that correlation. You don't just come and your wife is sick, your daughter is to go to school, then you calculate those amounts, then you come and put it on the product and come and sell it to me. What kind of behavior is that?
You know something. You know something. What AB is forgetting is that we are an import-led country. If the production was here, that you can control. But we are import-led.
Okay.
And we bring in things. We spend foreign exchange out there to bring things in. If we can close that import gate, then maybe what he's saying would work.
Okay. I'll come to you, Kofi, first. Eminent, if you have any reaction, any points you want to react to.
I think, largely when we debate, I think we debate with preconceived notions. When I came in, I could have taken a completely different position and rubbish the 24-hour economy. All that I sought to do was I asked you to reiterate the 3 pillars.
Yeah.
And then I said, in addition, there should have been a pillar that looks at demand. That's what I said. So I didn't rubbish what they have done. I said I would have loved that there was an additional emphasis on how they were going to stimulate demand. But Amaleba goes to town unhappy because he thinks, because I've raised issues of creating demand, I'm rubbishing the policy. No. I have my own reservations about the policy. But you see, sometimes when we sit on national platforms, some of us are able to advance a national discourse, and leave other things for other times.
Okay.
They both sat here and threw jabs at MPP about 3 or 4 times, referencing where we have failed and all of that. But you see, people can always reference other things. The point I was making was that we need to be able to stimulate growth. And look, credit is not disposable income. Disposable income is something you actually earn. Credit is not disposable income. And all I'm saying is it's one way of stimulating demand. We are talking about continuum. My uncle talked about the policy, the government having 4 years and another government coming in. If MPP has advanced the idea of credit system and it will help the 24-hour economy, why not?
Okay.
Why not?
All right. Ebo, a minute.
No, I get a bit Kofi is coming from. But you see, the policy itself inherently will stimulate demand because wear Ghana, eat Ghana. Are you getting it? But the point I'm making is that it should start from people having money to spend. And you can only have money to spend if you are working. That is why we want to solve the problem of unemployment in this country, so that it's a way of also stimulating demand in an economy.
I'm saying that.
And so
I'm also telling you that.
So Kofi,
I'm also telling you that. Look, I'm also telling you that.
No, you have okay.
Having money to spend, having disposable income to spend is one thing.
Yeah,
But there are other ways you can give resources to people to spend.
No.
And the two can exist in the same.
For
So what are you saying?
for example, if we reduce, I'm coming. For example, if we reduce taxes, it stimulates demand.
Okay.
There are a lot of, within the economy, stimulating demand is not only giving money to people. You see, Kofi's.
I'm not saying they should give money to
if you give,
people.
because you said an American example. You said an American example. I'm saying that if you do it here, it will create the kind of inflation we cannot control.
It was based on what you said, and I just cited an example.
Let me also say that.
I've not said we should give money to anybody.
No, we are coming up with a new policy.
Yeah.
So if I make reference to the failed policies of MPP, that is right. What we are saying is that we don't want this government to go on the same
MPP are
path.
the only people who have had failed
right.
policies.
No.
So,
I mean, MPP just handed over
what is
to.
failed policy?
Okay,
Oh,
so
but-
that's it in terms of the first part of the discussion this morning. Let's switch now and let's talk briefly about Cocoa Board before we go off. Let's talk briefly about Cocoa Board before we go off, and I'll start with AB directly opposite me on the Cocoa Board issue.
Time is up.
Yes, we are almost wrapping up. We just deal with Cocoa Board and go. We are told that government has released some 854 million of outstanding payments to cocoa farmers, and I mean maybe there are those who are saying that this should not be necessarily celebrated. They are saying that government has had a full year in office. This Cocoa Board situation was preventable. For 1 full year, you knew how things were the previous planting season. At least now some monies are coming in. We shouldn't have even gotten here in the first place, but at least some good news now. You agree?
Let me start by saying that this program is like a master's degree program. So it is allowed to critique what a panelist says. That is not an attack. Once again, it is allowed to critique what a panelist says. We are not in the first degree here. So that when you say something, you get up and go. No. This is like a master's program. And so you must be comfortable and have a big heart to accommodate.
It's a PhD program.
Even a PhD, it's even a PhD. So to be singled out, you have said it. You said it's wrong. Now the issue is this: Cocoa Board, as we see it now, is not the Cocoa Board that we used to know. This is a very sick Cocoa Board. thank God to the mismanagement of the previous administration. So the reduction in the price is unfortunate. This government didn't want it that way. But the global prices also contributed to what we are seeing. I am glad and happy to know that monies have been made available to the LBCs, who would in turn now give those monies to the farmers, isn't it? Yeah. What can I say again? What I can say is that I also heard the management of Cocoa Board cutting down their own salary. Is that not true? You heard it?
Yes, they announced it.
Yes. That tells you how cabinet, government, and even the management of Cocoa Board view the situation at Cocoa Board. Top management have taken 20% cut, and then I think middle level have taken 10% cut of their salary. That is also commendable, because you must feel what the cocoa farmer too feels. But moving forward, I think that as a nation, we shouldn't manage Cocoa Board the way it was managed again, never. Sometimes when you are in public office, think about it as your private office. Run it with a commercial, attitude. But people are put in public office and they want to run it down. And that's where we find ourselves. Right. I have seen a video in which cocoa farmers in the Sefi area were demonstrating. I've seen it here. And I'm now going to talk about how low our politics have become. One of the farmers was exhibiting or displaying an envelope that they were paid to come out and do the demonstration. I mean, I think that...
but maybe you agree with me that those are allegations that...
I'm saying that it's in a video.
Yeah,
and
I've seen that video too.
You've seen it?
I'm saying that those are things that we can't confirm.
And so if that is true, and I've just put out information,
okay,
have I attributed it to somebody?
No, not at all.
Or you think that there's somebody behind it?
I'm not thinking anything.
So what's your problem?
I'm listening to you. I'm just pointing out that
those
are allegations that
if that is how our policies have become low,
you agree with me on that?
If that is how our policies have become, I think that we must rise above it.
All right.
That is not how to engage in politics in this country.
Okay. Kofi, let me come to you now. So what do you make of the Cocoa Board situation?
Cocoa Board has always had challenges. I mean, anybody. I'm probably the youngest sitting here. If I will tell you, problems with Cocoa Board didn't emerge in the last 8 years. We've always had challenges. So if we want to talk about the challenges of Cocoa Board and Block, we can. No issues. But let nobody confuse the issues. The incompetent mess we are witnessing today has absolutely nothing to do with the challenges of Cocoa Board. It has everything to do with terrible trading decisions by the current management of Cocoa Board. Simpliciter. Let's segregate the issues. Cocoa Board took a trading decision not to sell when they got a price of $7,000 per ton. That was a decision they took. That decision backfired, and it is what has led us to where we are. We can talk about that as an individual issues and then raise issues, if any, about how Cocoa Board was managed by the NPP. That's okay, I don't have any problems. But for anybody to attempt mischievously to link the current mess, incompetent mess by Amalebe's government to the challenges Cocoa Board has always had, is disingenuous and dishonest. A group of people took a terrible decision, which has caused some farmers to lose 100,000 cedis. 100,000 cedis. That is what we are talking about. So if there is anything the president needs to do, in addition to everything else he's doing, is to go back and audit the decisions that were made by the traders at Cocoa Board. Why? First of all, what informed you to give the farmers 3,600. You must have come to a number. You must have done your permutations. You must have done your projections. And you came to a number of 3,600 for the farmers. Then midstream, you reduced that number to 2,587. Never in our history has this happened. So the first question is, when you got the $7,000 per ton, which translates to the 3,600 per bag, why didn't you sell 70 to 80% of your cocoa at that point? Why did you wait? You've waited and caused a mess. And instead of admitting that you have failed, you want to link it to challenges of cocoa board. Why? Rollovers have always happened. We came to meet rollover. Cocoa board roads and their syndications and issues with cocoa board contracts, etc., they've always been there. Issues with jute sacks, they've always been there. Time immemorial. So why is anybody, Amaliba and other people, making this mischievous and dishonest attempt to link the mess they have created to the old issues of cocoa board? Let's stop it. Let's stop it. Look, pay cocoa board, pay the farmers. I am of the firm view that we can actually go for a bond or go for any form of loan or whatever you want to call it, and at least give cocoa farmers the 3,100, which you came to meet. Why not? We can do that. Okay. I mean, you've spent 240 million buying sanitary pads and other things. You can save cocoa farmers. We have done it before. When we came in and you had messed up, you had taken 1.8 billion and there was a rollover, we took loan and we were able to issue the right payments to the cocoa farmers. Okay. We can easily do that. It's not an issue.
Let me come to you.
But the simple question is, why didn't they go for a bond?
You said this is a PSG program.
Why didn't you go for a bond? Why didn't they go for a bond to pay off the investors who were having haircuts? That's a question for the gods.
Okay. Last week,
you go for a bomb? Last week, come on. How's that even an argument?
Can you imagine?
How's that even an argument? How's that even an argument?
Last week, you emphasized to understand the issues, the management.
You don't even understand. You don't even understand.
He's engaging in ad hominem.
If it were easy,
he's engaging in ad hominem. I don't understand what.
If it were easy to go for loans to pay off, why didn't you go for loans to pay off those people you cut off the yard? Some died. Some died.
Why?
And you say that
you have the chance to reply.
He doesn't even understand.
Ebo, go ahead. Last week you were very...
Go for loans. You should stop the ad hominem attacks. They shouldn't personalize issues here.
Okay. No problem.
Please.
Look at somebody who mentioned my name 5 times. That was personalization.
Ebo, go ahead. I'm saying that.
You mentioned my name. That's not personalization.
You were making a point.
I said ad hominem.
No, I need you to listen to me.
That's what I said. I didn't attack you.
Listen to me. Ebo, last week you, basically made a point about how we cannot overlook how cocoa board has been managed over the period. On the flip side, too, there are those who make the argument that, they had a full year where they had the benefit of the previous year. Do you still stand exactly where you stood last week when we had a conversation?
You see, cocoa board issue, people want us to push the mismanagement, corruption issue to the periphery. We will never do that. I made a very interesting point last week that if cocoa board had made profit during MPP's time, they could have used part of the profit to defray or to make up for the difference for the cocoa farmers. So corruption and mismanagement can never be taken away or cannot be taken out of the discussion. So when we talk about it and Kofi is feeling it, so be it. But the point is that, you see, I've listened carefully. MPP leaders, some of their leaders and communicators speak about this issue, and I have yet to hear any of them make any cogent argument in respect of how we can move this cocoa board issue forward. Ante spoke, it was terrible. What did he say? He attributed the problem we're having to the issue of we having a stable currency. He said we should go and borrow money to bail out the farmers. Kojo Aponkoma was speaking. He said it's a haircut. Let me put it on record. what is happening is never haircut. I don't know why. I don't know how they understand haircut. Haircut is reducing the value of your investments, debt, or assets. Price reduction is not haircut. Price cut is not haircut. Let me explain this. If the government, the 3,600, if the government had decided that it was not going to pay the 3,600 to people who had supplied, that would have been haircut. But the government said, I will pay that one, but the new ones that will come, I will give you the new price.
I mean, but to the extent of...
So it can never be haircut. So it is never haircut.
To the extent of predictability from the onset.
No, what I'm saying is that it is never haircut. They want equalization.
I'm not even...
No. They want equalization. Because of the haircut they gave Ghanaians and how it has become an albatross, they just want equalization. They engage in what is called fallacy of force equivalence. They just want to create a situation to think that you've also given Ghanaians haircut. Let me make a point.
Learn from me.
Let me make a point. You see, let the truth be said. 2023-2024, MPP gave farmers 32% and took 68%. Kofi's government.
I hope I will respond to that.
They couldn't even give them half of what was due them. They gave them 32%. This government has given 70% and is currently giving more than 90%. You can't give what you don't have. You can only give what you have. So if the prices of the commodity or the price of the commodity has fallen on the world market, you say the government should go and borrow money and pay more than what is prevailing on the market? Does it make sense? Is that how you manage the economy? No wonder we had the kind of economy you had under NDC. If you listen to Amin Anta, this is a former finance minister. Look at the way he thinks about the management of the economy. Complaining that we are having problems because our currency is stable and that to him, cedi should depreciate. And he was talking about something like we have overvalued our currency. There's nothing like overvaluation of currency. What we are practicing, our system is foreign exchange management system, where you have to allow demand and supply to work, yet you intervene through intermediation and all that. Okay. That is the system you are practicing. So his concept of we allowing our cedi to depreciate to a point so that our export will be cheaper is not going to help this economy.
Okay. Senior, I'll give you the final word. Before I'll do the few seconds around. Relax for me, don't worry.
Where a syndicated loan is waited for by Governor Bank of Ghana, Minister of Finance, government to balance an economy. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? A loan, Cocoa Board loan, is waited for by government because they say it will balance the economy. Doesn't make sense. Cocoa Board, there's been a cocktail of problems. Remember, this present management of Cocoa Board came to meet huge debt. Huge debt. True or false? Huge debt. Huge debt that surmounting that debt is not going to be easy. And unfortunately, the price that they had set up, having cocoa prices falling on the world market, hasn't it fallen on the world market? Let's be honest with ourselves. Look, the new priorities that Cocoa Board has set up, cocoa price stabilization, quality control, research and development, local processing, transparency and accountability, but most of all, farmer support. For me, that is where the crux is. Because for Cocoa Board to be able to what? To work, they need those cocoa beans. Who grows those cocoa beans? Is it Cocoa Board?
The farmers.
It's the farmers. So, I would suggest, if we really, really want to look after the farmers, because a farmer today can't buy a motorcycle. If you want to go out to buy a motorcycle, they'll be able to buy a motorcycle. So if we really, really want to take care of our farmers, we should have a sinking fund where, if prices fluctuate, we keep the price for them. If prices fluctuate, we need to look after those farmers. If for nothing at all, they have helped this country for the last 60 years by growing cocoa. By growing cocoa. And it is not an easy thing. It's hoe and cutlass. Hoe and cutlass. And we don't even tend to give them the respect for what they've done for this country. And so that for me is where the focus is. In terms of the management, look, from what has happened, I trust this management that is in place. For what has happened, they'll learn from it. And I know Randy Abe won't come and do this thing, I'm going for loan here, I'm going for loan there. I don't think government is ready to do that. If they are talking about 24-hour economy, then they are talking in a sense where we are going to add value. We are going to add value. Look, Akable, once upon a time, I used to export coverture from CPC in Tema to the UK. And that coverture made more money than what? The beans. So if we are going to add value, we need to help those small farmers even have small processing plants on their farms to start adding value.
Okay.
To start adding value. But most of all, have a sinking fund that will take care of farmers when there's any fluctuation so that at least they too can live comfortably. How many of those farmers come to Accra? How many of those farmers know what Accra is like? Shouldn't they be able to? When you go to places like the UK and America and even Germany, the farmers are the most rich people because they are taken care of. So for me, cocoa is key. Galamsey is threatening it. It is one area we also need to look at to help the cocoa farmer. I'm a cocoa farmer. My father left us a huge cocoa farm in Kawie, and we are starting to go into it. But for me, I would have a processing plant on my farm where I can turn the beans into liquor and then sell.
Okay, all right. Kofi, you wanted to make some
very quickly.
quick points.
Look, let the record reflect. This is not the first time Cocoa Board or any CEO came to meet debts at Cocoa Board. Let's state things as they are. Cocoa Board has always had debts. They've always had challenges.
Yours was astronomical.
It doesn't look.
Yours was
Look, you can
astronomical,
debate
Kofi.
that. We can also debate it
Astronomical.
otherwise. But don't create the impression that Cocoa Board didn't have debt. Yes, you are right. We didn't give them a haircut like your Sakura. You actually cut their head off.
You finished.
Cut their head off. That's what you have done with the NDs. You have cut their head off.
When
Look.
the response, you say it's engaged in that for me.
But okay, sorry.
That's not fair.
Sorry.
Yeah. So go ahead and wrap up for me.
They've cut it off. And look, my brother Ibu, you are saying that if Cocoa Board had profits, they could have used some of the profit to defray the challenges.
Of course.
Yes, no problem. But the point is, did we even have to have the problem in the first place? Did we have to make a bad trading decision to go and take Ghana's money to defray? There was bad trading decisions. There was bad trading decisions. Look, a government announced a price. The question is, who announced a price of 3,600? What happened? What happened for you to come back and reduce the price? Look, we have done it before. This is not the first time a government is announcing a price. Before a government announces a price, it would have done its projections, permutations, and said that we are going to sell 70% or 80% on forward and the remaining on spot. And based on that permutations and calculations, we are giving you this price. What changed this time? So don't come and sit here and create the impression that they did everything well. They didn't. They didn't. They messed up. And you, of all people, should be the last person. You should be the last person. What trade? You are now a trade expert. You are now a trade expert.
International trade is between a seller and a buyer. Buyers on the international market knew price was going to fall. No buyer was going to buy your product when he knew or when he knows that the price is going to fall. So it's not about you selling.
All the time. Prices fall all the time.
For me, I'm wrapping up.
Yeah. You see, in actual fact, when I talk about the issue of Cocoa Board, the MPP people should be the last people to be talking about it. So they shouldn't even participate in that conversation at all. Given your track record. So when we are talking about issues of how you could make progress in respect of Cocoa Board's management and all that, you keep quiet and let us talk. Okay. Now listen. Let me tell you something interesting. If you look at 24-hour economy, if you look at the reforms that were brought up by this government or put forward by this government, you will see the GTP reflection. You see a reflection of GTP. What it means is that we are being a very responsible opposition. We want this. It's not about the vote we had. We are being a very responsible opposition. We want this country to move forward. That is why when we lost election, we gave the copy of our GTP to the president. Go and check the 24-hour economy and put it side by side the GTP. Okay. You will see that the GTP is featured in there. Even the reforms, the fact that we shouldn't even rely on a syndicated loan, it is in our GTP and all other reforms that is there. It shows how responsible we are and how irresponsible Kofi and his people are.
Maybe they asked me whether you're still in the studio. They said you've been quiet for too long. You are the you get a final word. Then I'm done.
But you won't go to.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give senior, sir. I'll give senior a minute as well.
In my head, I feel like you jealous.
I just want to make it very short, and I want to talk to the cocoa farmers. Once upon a time, there was a government that gave you 30%.
32%.
32%, yeah. Today, there's a government that has given you 70%. Think twice.
Now, more than 90%.
Who are your natural allies? There are some who gave you 30%, and there are some who gave you 70%. I'm told even now 90%.
92%.
Who are your natural friends to the cocoa farmers?
Senior, finally.
You don't feel the sense of secaditiousness in what this government is trying to do, at least at this point. From the time John Mahama came in and some of the things he's put in place, his ministers, to this point, you don't see the sense of secaditiousness. For me, we are building a nation. And it is important that this nation is built. Because where Ghana is today, we should have been here years, ages ago. Ages ago.
So worrying.
Ages ago.
Nobody is raising any issues about the bad trading decisions.
There was no bad trading decision.
Nobody.
There was no bad trading decision.
Nobody is raising any issues about the bad trading.
You guys are pushing.
You know another lie they are telling that we gave 32%. Do you know why they are saying 32%?
32%. You cannot make a calculation right now.
Guys, I was quiet.
You cannot make a calculation right now.
You let off us finish. Let off us finish.
Senior, learn from me.
So you distort one's...
He said let me remind you, he said the secaditiousness
we are building a nation. And where we are today, and you look at the world is closing. Every country is closing. Every country is looking at their 18. We should start looking at our 18. And those things that aren't helping us, together, collectively, because we are building a nation, we should try as much as possible to make sure that we do it together. Otherwise, going forward, we take one step forward, 5 steps backwards.
Speculation.
Speculation. They are talking about
I deserve a right.
No. They are talking about bailout. Banking sector crisis. They need only 9 billion to bail them out. But you spent 25 billion to collapse banks. And they're talking about bailouts. They're talking about bailouts.
Stop that lie.
Speculation or speculating in the cocoa industry and speculating based on available data is not mismanagement.
How?
That's right.
You get my point? That's the industry. That's the industry practice. There's speculation emanating from data.
That's what
it's not mismanagement.
The 30% they are talking about.
My guest this morning have been Abraham Amaleba, Director General, National Road Safety Authority, also a legal practitioner, member of the National Democratic Congress. Kwame Jantwa is a lawyer as well. With the Convention People's Party and with AGI as well, the people that Ebu doesn't want to hear from this morning. Ebu Bakman speaks for Deputy Communication Director for the United Party. Kofi Tonto is a Deputy Spokesperson for the MPP flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. We'll take a quick break, but before we do that, I have some good news for you. We'll do the first draw, if that is available now. I'm giving out 1,000 CDs right now. If you can have the draw come up on the screen quickly, let's see who our first winner is at this point in time. Okay, so it's still running. It's still running because some of you are still trying to get onto it. Those of you are holding your phone, just to trying to get onto it, don't worry. But if you want to look smart and fashionable, visit any Within boutique nationwide today. Within offers an amazing collection of authentic African fabrics and ready-to-wear that come in beautiful designs and colors for men and women. With Within, you can get creative and versatile with your designs. Be confident and show off how truly African you are in Within. Go to a Within boutique near you today and choose from a variety of trendy products to complement your unique style. You can follow Within Fashion on Facebook and Instagram at Within Fashion and on TikTok at Within_fashion. We'll take a quick break. I forgot to mention I'm wearing Within as well. As always, outfit is by Within. Thank you so much to Within. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we have sports and some a bit of interesting conversation much later on. We'll do the birthdays as well, so stay tuned in. Don't go anywhere. This is New Day here on TV3.
How may I help you today?
We'd like to open a bank.
Now you draw direction to your house. I need your thumbprint. And I'll need your birth certificate too. No, I need the original.
A lot has changed since you banked like this. So have we. We've made it easier than ever to open an account online and bank on the go through our mobile app, online banking, and more. EcoBank, a better way to bank.
20th of February 2026. We're just about to wrap up the week, but we've got sports for you this morning. And all my boys from 3 Sports are back from, what was it? Was it a retreat? Was it a recreational activity? Was it a vacation? What was it? Explain with diagrams.
It was everything
Inclusive.
Yes.
And you people left me. Did you guys get my message yesterday?
Which message?
Billy Shen didn't give you my message. No. So me, I'm the senior prefect of 3 Sports. You people left me here. Where's Anderson? Anderson, where are you? Show your head right now. Show your face in studio as well. But I do believe that it was a great time. Yes. You guys have great plans coming up for the World Cup.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, we'll be waiting to feed into all of it.
Yeah.
Welcome back, welcome back.
Thank you.
There's a lot that's trending. Anyway, special good morning to my uncle, Honorable Kofi Adams, the sports minister. I was hoping that he would have said he would give me 1 month of the salary, but he says he's giving it to the sports fund.
Yes.
That's been made available right now. I think it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
Well, I think it's definitely a good idea. If you do want to see a lot more private entities, invest in this fund, there needs to be that example set, and there's no greater sacrifice than to sort of lead the way. In a way, communicates that the ministry, not just him, is very serious about this fund, and hopefully it starts a chain reaction that we get to see a lot more private institutions, prominent people follow suit and also donate money to the fund as well.
Right.
I think it's generally a good idea. Over the years, we've seen our athletes, sport and infrastructure suffer due to lack of allocation of funds or even availability of funds as well. So it's definitely a step in the right direction. And, he made this pronouncement in Parliament yesterday.
Okay, let's take a look.
The first contribution to this fund has already been made. The National Investment Bank has demonstrated leadership with a donation of 100,000 Ghana cedis. That gesture must not stand alone. It must mark the beginning of a national movement. In that spirit, I will donate 2 months of my salary to the Ghana Sports Fund effective February 2026. If we expect the private sector to invest, if we expect federations to reform, if we expect young athletes to commit, then leadership must also commit. I respectfully call on members of this House, ministers of state, and the executive to support this fund in tangible ways. Government has delivered the framework. We must now collectively strengthen it. I am confident that His Excellency the President, who made this reform possible, will continue to champion this fund as its foremost advocate.
All right. Very well done, first of all, and very well said. Yeah. Congratulations to him. I hope that other sports enthusiasts probably would also follow in the same suit. Are you also giving just 50% of your favorite salary to...
We'll think about it.
You think about it, right? Anyway, we're smiling this morning, but I'm also getting worried at the number of Black Star players who are getting injured. I mean, I'm still worried about Kudus, who's still not returned. He was supposed to return somewhere in April.
Yes.
I'm not sure if that's still going to happen. I'll check on him again and see. But it looks like the list is growing.
Yes.
Who and who are also injured? You did not pray when you guys went for your retreat. That's why. We are calling on all ministers.
Definitely. And I think at least for some bit of good news, Partey came back from injury over the weekend.
Partey is injured not only physically, mentally
well.
and emotionally.
We'll definitely add him to the prayers as well. But it's a long list, and it's a type of injuries that they are not short term. That's what makes it more concerning because you're looking at the likes of someone like Tariq Lamptey who tore his ACL and would be away for a very, very long time. And then we had the likes of Enes Nyoma who also tore his ACL last year alongside Abdul Mumin. Mumin at least
has started training and made the bench for Rayo's last weekend's game in La Liga against Atletico Madrid. And so, yeah, it's definitely a long list. We'll take a look at it later, but we're not the only ones worried. The FA president, he's also a bit concerned.
It's not cool,
about the injuries, especially in the World Cup.
We have to intensify our prayers.
Yeah. So for someone like Salisu, you know, the team doctor has already declared that he will miss the World Cup. It's very sad to hear 5 months before a tournament that you cannot play in it.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, it's a difficult one. But yeah, we can hear from the association president, Katokreku, who says that though he's concerned, he still remains optimistic.
I'm concerned, and everybody is concerned about the number of players in the medical room as we speak now. But I'm very positive. I'm a very positive person. I always believe that everything and anything is possible, and our job is to work as much as we can. Our job is to pray as much as we can for the Almighty God to bless us, and we leave the rest to Him. I mean, we'll do our part, and we know that our part will be enough to make Ghana proud.
Well, we do hope that it will be enough, but I think we just need to intensify our prayers for our boys as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, wishing them the very best. I'm sure you bring us more when it's time for sports at 10 o'clock. All right, let's continue this morning. And I'm told that Dauda is backing Benjamin Asare. Benjamin Asare made all Kotoko, no, not Kotoko, all Hearts of Folk fans really, really happy on Sunday. I got sick after that match. Charlie, it wasn't easy for me, cry.
Sorry.
Most of my friends are Hearts of Folk fans, including my brother Rashid. Good morning if you're watching. But some way, somehow, you know, I just wanted to be on the side of Kotoko. What I see, and then it didn't happen. How can you go to Kumasi and beat us and Kotoko and Kumasi? On Sunday. So why is Dauda and Benjamin Asare doing what they are doing? And then he'll finish and come and do SM for life. What is all this? Benjamin Asare, you're so good, but sometimes relax for Kotoko small.
You know, he won the man of the match.
He did la.
And as usual, you know, the subject of Benjamin Asare has always divided opinion. There are people who believe that he's still not been tested enough and he's not good enough to be Ghana #1. And there are people also arguing that, look, he's come in and everything has been
saving us.
Yeah, I mean, since he came in, there's been stability at the back.
There has.
So it feels as if it's a type of topic that will drag on for months. However, Fatal Dauda says that it's part of the job. I remember he was also a keeper playing locally and went to the national team as well. And so he says that he's not surprised. It's part of the job. The criticism, pressure comes along with it. But what Asare has done well is that he's been able to remain level-headed. And you know, he says that the two of them keep on communicating regularly as well. So hopefully, I mean, that helps him stay grounded. It's definitely not easy even when you keep a clean sheet and win man of the match, people are still doubting your abilities. Let's take a look into what Dauda had to say about that.
Position before, so because he's in the team as a Blasters player, and that's my department. So anytime they play the game, I get in touch with him, with his goalkeeper coach. We share ideas, we give feedbacks for the way how he can improve as a goalkeeper and as individual. So I keep advising him to stay focused because the technical team saw you playing the Premier League, in the local league, and then you were selected. So you need to stay focused and then keep doing what you know to do best. So I think he's doing well for himself and for his club, being a captain, a leader, and then a commander. You know, it's not easy. For that position, definitely, you know, you need to be criticized if things are not going well. That's how it should be. But for now, I think he's staying focused because he's someone who will listen. If you talk to me, listen. So he's a fast learner, he's coachable. So I'm happy for him. He's doing well for his club and for himself.
I like that he says he's coachable. But wait, when he does this, it's SM for life. Now, when that
one there, we've not explained it. I don't know that is scorpion or snake.
Because I'm not getting that. You know, you understand. So probably when I meet him, I would have to ask him. Anyway, that being said, let's get into GPL for the weekend. What are the standings? What is the table looking like? And are there any fixtures for the weekend?
Yeah, I think the title race is getting a bit more interesting. Last weekend, we saw Mediama failed to get victory against Adriana, and that sort of gave the other teams a chance to get back into this title race. So as we speak, it's just 5 points between Mediama and BBN Gold Stars and then Heart of Oak. All eyes will definitely be on these three teams when they're in action. We'll be starting off on Friday with Vision versus Bichim United, and then we would see Kotoko try to get back to winning ways against Young Apostles. And then Heart of Oak would also be at home against Berekum Chelsea to try and build on that Super Clash momentum. And Mediama would also be in action in Samurai Boy against Summertex, which should be a very interesting and difficult game as well.
Alrighty. Let's head to our last story for the morning. It will be the English Premier League. What's the latest?
Yes.
And are there any fixtures for the weekend?
Yes, a lot to definitely look forward to. Arsenal, they've been under the microscope in the past week because 2 draws have ensured that Manchester City have some way, somehow, been dragged back into this title race. And if City do win against Newcastle on Saturday at 8 p.m., the gap between themselves and Arsenal all of a sudden becomes just 2 points. And that means that if City wins their remaining matches, 11 matches in the league, they would be crowned champions as well. But there's still a lot of football left to be played, including the North London derby this weekend, where Arsenal would be facing Tottenham as well. So it's plenty games to go. Okay. But all eyes will definitely be on the North, especially if Man City beat Newcastle on Saturday. Then the game between Tottenham and Arsenal would even gain more relevance and attention on Sunday.
Right. Okay, keep an eye on it for us. Monday, bring us all the updates. Thank you very much, Oreku Ampofo. Now you can win big this morning. All you need to do is dial *439# if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. People are winning already, and I've got one of the winners on the telephone lines right now. Coco, activated. Increase the volume, and let me talk to the winner this morning. Hello. Hello, good morning. Oh, in excitement, the person has left the phone. Hello, good morning. Okay, we are not connecting. Please remember that you can cash out with us now. First person winning 1,000, second 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 and 5,000 in that order this morning. *439# if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. So it's number 8. MG Jackpot, MG Jackpot. Choose option 8, MG Jackpot. Play as many times as possible to increase your chance of winning. In Timpacho, Jisikani Nina and Sana Marco. Now, 2026 is the year to explore, to travel, and to experience more. Global Wings to Travel and Tour, in partnership with the Media General, invites you to experience the best of Malaysia and Singapore this April. Now, it's 9 unforgettable days with return flights, luxury hotels in Kuala Lumpur and Singapore, daily meals, visa facilitation, city tours, Genting, Highlands with cable ride, intercountry transfers, and so much more. Don't wait at all. Please make sure that your April 2026 Malaysia and Singapore trip is a reality. Please call 0550 188 181. You can also send a WhatsApp to that same number, or you can also alternatively use 0553 688 398 0553 688 398. Please make sure you call or you message those numbers now. Let's take a breather. Do I have the winner on the line? Do I have the winner? Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Mepacho, are you on the line? Your name and where you're talking to us from?
Oh, the network.
Hello. Okay, you know what? I think we need to reestablish contact with the winner again. Let's do that and come back. We'll be right back. TV3 Newday. We have a very interesting conversation coming up at the moment. Now, there's a breakfast meeting that has been recurring in this country. It's not new at all. It's between Stanbic Bank and the Graphic Communications Group, and it's a premium recurring forum in Ghana here where business leaders, policymakers, and industry experts meet to always discuss critical economic issues. And this year again, it is happening. It's very beneficial. If you ask me, I think I've had interviews about it here. I think this
almost
maybe,
every quarter.
I know, right? Almost every quarter we talk about it, yes. But since it's still money and investments and all of that, one person has won a lot of money this morning via *439#, and the person is on the line. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Oh, you guys should talk to me, because I'm told when you received the message, you thought it was actually fraud, but it's real cash from the radio entertainment people to your Momo right now. Hello, is the person still on the line? Is the person still on the line? Okay, if the person is not, please re-establish. Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, I like this good morning. I like the pitch of the good morning. What's your name, sir? Mommy fans, what are mommy fans, kaka? Mommy fans, kaka. Mommy fans. Where are you speaking from? I'm from Aukase Free. Ashaiman. Eti unya alert no na Aukase obi dada wana. Enya fraud. Enya fraud. Enya real. Me patro anope. Oh no, it no go clear. Check make we see say it's still there and check make we see. It's still there. The money is still there, the Momo wallet inside. It's still there. It day like you know day. Good stuff, Charlie. Go enjoy yourself. It's Friday. You deserve it. Go and enjoy yourself. But please make sure that you tell your friends and family about it. It is real. It's not fake at all. When we do announce it here, people do win real cash and real money here on the show. Inti, congratulations to you. Enjoy. But before I record it, Mami fans kakra. All right, thank you very, very much. Well, you can also win and win big here with us this morning. It's *439# if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. Please choose option 8, which is the MG option. Play as many times as possible so you can be like this gentleman who is laughing because he's received a sumptuous message on his Momo alert. Well, still on winning ways this morning. Let's talk to Derek Romeo Adogla, my very newest friend. Yes, I mentioned it nicely, right? Yes, he's a communications head and reputation manager, right? At Stanbic Bank.
Yes, works.
Reputation manager. Hey, what does that mean?
Well, our work revolves around ensuring that, you know, what we say we do, we do exactly that. You
really do. Just like the way I've given the money.
Exactly.
If I say I'll give you money, you see, we are talking money.
Reputation is currency.
When you see us, you see the money business. Yeah. And this morning, Suleiman Mustafa, also editor, Graphic Business, is here. You are enjoying this collaboration between yourself and Stanbic Bank.
True.
You are enriching lives, making sure that businesses are thriving. This collaboration is good for you, Pa. Talk to me about this. Talk to me about this collaboration.
I mean, this is a collaboration we started some years back with Stanbic, and it's a thought leadership discussions that we've been having almost every quarter to ensure that the challenges facing our economy, we bring it to the fore, to the front burner, so that as a media house, we try to highlight and articulate those issues, provide a platform for those issues to be highlighted and solutions proffer.
Fantastic.
And that is why we find a reliable partner like Stanbic Bank to provide the funding and support for us to be able to do all of these things.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So the partnership has been very good.
Fantastic. I said he's enjoying it, but you are also enjoying it because you are a bank.
Yes.
And so long as people are benefiting from it, that's what makes you thrive.
Yes.
Tell me why you've always had a keen interest in this.
So at Stanbic, we say Ghana is our home and we drive her growth. And that means that we will do anything and everything within our power to ensure that, you know, there's productivity in the system, people are able to do what they need to do to grow financially and be the best that it can be.
Right.
And finding the right partner in a daily graphic business helps in, you know, extending that information, that engagement, so that we focus on the things that people, you know, that matter to people, just so that we can drive that, get solutions that work for people, and generally ensure that we grow together. People are elevated together, which is really at the core of what we do.
Right.
Yeah.
Sule, like you mentioned, this happens almost every quarter. What theme are we running on for this very one?
Why resetting Ghana's urban public transport system is an economic necessity.
Okay.
We chose this theme because of the recurrent problems we've been having with the transport system.
Very timely.
Anytime there are economic challenges, we see it manifest in the transport sector, and we see the spectre in our transport terminals every time we see the prices of either the exchange rates swing, it reflects in our public transport system. And if there are some economic changes, we also see how it reflects in our public transport system. So for a very long time, these problems has been persistent. So we decided that let's have a conversation and how to profile long-term solutions. So we are bringing in experts to sit down for us to have a conversation on what are the challenges that we are facing and what solutions they can profile for us to advance the discussion and maybe table solution to government.
Amazing.
That these are the challenges that has been identified, and these are the solutions that we can, long-term solutions, sustainable solutions that we can find or government can drive to ensure that those issues or challenges are nipped in the bud once and for all.
Amazing.
So that is the essence of the conversation.
This makes me happy because we are one of the foremost media houses in this country who embarked on this campaign, and we highlighted exactly what the transportation crisis in the country has been. So over the last month, if you've been watching TV3, you realize that we're running campaigns. We're going in and out everywhere. So that's when we saw the discrepancies even in our train systems and all of that. So it makes me happy that you're dwelling on this very topic for this quarter. But Derek,
and just to add, before you ask, and that is because we lack an efficient public transport system in the country. And that is why this discussion has to be brought to the fore for us to have find a long-term or sustainable solutions to it.
Derek, it's been an age-old problem. The other day, we saw a video of a gentleman commuting, I think somewhere on the Instagram Road, after standing in queue for a very long time, got to the office in dust. From where you sit as a bank, how do these transportation crises affect the productivity of the normal, ordinary Ghanaian and, in the end, the economy as well?
So, thanks for that question. I mean, you look at the normal, Ghanaian, leaves home, say, 6 o'clock, trying to get to the office early. And if it was a good day, you probably would use, say, 30 minutes to get to your office. But generally, you would spend like 2 hours because you're not really in the urban center. You're out, maybe peri-urban, and coming into the urban center. So obviously, you spend a longer time commuting from and to work. That takes away a lot from your productivity and actually from your health as well. And we've seen a paradox of things happening recently. You see a lot of vehicles on the road, traffic jam everywhere, and yet you also see a lot of people looking for vehicles. And we're saying that we don't have enough vehicles on our road. So really, what is the problem? People have traveled elsewhere and they've seen how systems are efficient. You step out, you're ready to go, and they tell you that it will move at 6 o'clock, it moves at 6 o'clock. You can get a bus, you can get a vehicle, a tram. There are many options that are available. At the heart of this problem is that we are taking away from people the time that they can spend with their families, the time that they can spend doing other things to generate more income for themselves, and, affecting people's health. How do we go over these issues? How do we see opportunities in these challenges? And that is where we come in.
That's where Stanbic comes in. Fantastic. All right, Sule. So then at the end of the day, what do we seek to achieve after this breakfast meeting, number one? Who are the speakers? Where is it happening? And who can attend?
Okay, the speakers I'll defer to Derek.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, we are seeking to find a long-term solution. I mean, a sustainable one. The most important thing for every person who has gone into the labor market, the priority is to get a vehicle.
Okay.
And that is because, again, I repeat, because we don't have an efficient public transport system. So often our roads are choked. And so you can't provide buses every time without expanding infrastructure. So what we are seeking to do right now, the objective is to find a long-term solution, give to government and suggest to government how we can sustain and find a solution to the current challenges that we have within our transport sector.
Okay.
And speakers, I will defer to them.
Right. So we've put together an array of really smart individuals who have done it all in their spaces and can share their thoughts with us. First, we have Professor Enoch Sam from the University of Education, Winneba, who is a transport geologist, a geology researcher. Right. We also have Isaac Simpson, who works with us at Stanbic. Okay. He's the head of financial advisory and capital equity markets. We also have Mr. Godfred Abulbire. He is the general secretary of the GPRTU. Right. So we have people from research,
have the right kind of
exactly,
people who are
from
going
industry,
to be
and then also from the financial.
Fabulous. We don't know the day yet, though. When?
It's on Tuesday, 24th February, next Tuesday.
What time?
And it's happening at 7 a.m. sharp.
Where?
It's happening at Labadi Beach, Plush Labadi Beach Hotel.
Okay.
However, it's not open to everybody. We will stream it live on our socials, Stanbic Bank Ghana, and then
graphic.com.gh.
Exactly.
Okay.
So,
but if you want to attend in person, that's strictly by invitation.
Strictly by invitation.
Okay.
Yes.
But just in case you have not been invited, you can also watch.
It's available. It will be available
Yes.
online on our socials and then on Daily Graphic as
I love this collaboration. Long live this collaboration between the Graphic Communications Group and the Stanbic Bank. Thank you for coming. Derek Romeo Adogla, Head Communications and Reputation Management, and Suleiman Mustafa, Editor, Graphic Business. Thank you, gentlemen.
I hope to see you there.
Yes, I'll come.
Yes, yes.
7 a.m. Would you still be there at 10?
Come and have a breakfast. Yes, I mean by 10 we should.
Okay, so when I close from here, I'll run straight there.
Come and have your breakfast.
All right,
there.
gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Reminding
you that you can also cash out with us this morning. *439# if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. Please play now. *439#. We'll be right back to dish out a lot more cash.
Imagine there was no. What would the clothes or the textile waste that is dumped in Ghana, where would it go? Tantamount is a very important ecosystem in the global economy, in the fashion industry, and it needs to be taken care of. It needs to be invested in to keep clothes in circularity, to scale up and to make the system better.
This is where clothes we throw away end up. Thousands of tons of rubbish polluting someone else's country. Each one of these rotting garments was once purchased by a shopper on the other side of the world.
Now, textile waste is having a devastating impact on Ghana's beaches.
This is how the beach in Accra looks like, and I'm actually stepping on a whole layer of waste, of which predominantly is textile waste. As you can see, in between you see plastic and textile waste, and that has created a whole layer on the beaches of Accra. Now, a lot of the waste, a lot of the textile waste that you see here are brands from Global North. And This is the waste we didn't create. But look at it on our beaches. Is it fair? I don't think it's fair. I don't think you in Europe or in the global north will leave your beaches to be this dirty. So why does it have to happen to us?
All right. If you ask me, that's a very beautiful initiative there. A lot of waste which is being worked on at the moment. But the right persons are here in studio with us this morning to tell us all the work that the Revival Circulatory Lab are doing. And this morning, represented by Yaira Agbufa, who is the founder and creative director, and also came with Vida Fosua, Kantamanto trader, as well as Amina Swalisu, who used to be a Kayayo, but is now working with the foundation. Yemamuina Akwaba. Good morning, good morning. Good morning. Yaira, Afonama, where did you get this idea from? Yes, my phone.
Well, I mean, the idea was developed from an urgent need to do something about the problem that we were all encountering, which was that there was excess of clothing that were unsellable, hence it was inappropriately disposed. So there was no system to actually around disposability, but then it was causing massive environmental implications. Yeah. So then there was the need to do something with the community, where we've actually been doing this already.
How many years now?
We've been doing this for the last 8 years. Okay. But I mean, when I say we, I mean us in the community in Kantamanto, because I'm part of the Kantamanto community.
Oh, wow.
And we've been doing this, we've been repairing, we've been keeping clothes in circularity for decades. Wow. It's just that it hasn't been amplified and it hasn't been respected as much as it should, because the value of effort in Kantamanto is of global relevance.
Wow, wow. I love what you've done. And I love the growth, in all honesty. You're not new to this. You are part of the community. You've worked there and all of that. We went there about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Auntie Vida, me back Kantamanto. Niame esumu ho, ma menka ne sa. Niame esumu ho enya sem ketwa. We started talk in quote this morning. Yemfa say force. Menka ne sa. What on force wo Kantamanto be in fear do saying?
Almost 40 years.
But Jose
40 years.
40 years away ejuma we wo dia hwe wo dia hwe ma e dia ko school ni ade. Wow. Now sometimes you tete nsem bi say mutumi two bela no sebi o mutu bela no a nonsense nko na wo mu eyampa.
Atumi ba nsa.
Enti eno na eba na mu hu ne mo mfanye. Yaira, is that what happens? They don't know what to do with it, and then it becomes waste over there.
Yes, some figure out to repair, do upcycle, but there are some that is beyond reuse, it's beyond repair.
Amina, yes. Now so oye juma ewo Kantamanto hobi. Yaira Kachem said you used to be now also now you're the cow storage chairman, now you're there.
Sphere kaya.
Oh, now swakaya. But anopedia won't sakaya unique crowd because they say the what's the levels don't change. They say they won't swakaya bium. Only foundation no and a year juma. We started how many years and a month in
2 years.
Be 2 years in but wow try a swab bamfa swama wana a swab bamfa so. Anyway, Yaira, so tell us, what exactly do you do? Oh, is that some of the recycled styles we are seeing there?
Exactly.
Okay, so take us to it. What's the process? What happens?
So basically, what happens is that we've been able to create a system.
Wait, Ebina Mami Shayana. Hey, Auntie Vida, what dress ya no power? Wherever can say what drippy? And they will bag in you know changing. Oh, fantastic. Yes. So take us through the process then.
So basically, we work with the traders where we partner with them that whatever they don't sell, they bring it to us and then we upcycle it. So we work with them on an incentive basis where we actually take the stuff, give them an amount of money to also help them recoup the losses that they've incurred, because everything that is unsellable has been paid for by them already and there's no return policy or anything. So when we take that, then we take it into our spaces, our studios, where we figure out what to do with it. That's where the creativity and the design comes in. And with this, we work with people in the community who are already doing this. It's an existing skill that we do that. So for example, winter clothes that are hardly patronized here, I mean, Ghana is very hot. We turn winter clothes into backpacks. into laptop sleeves and other things, like what Antivida is wearing is from denims that are too small, that are ripped, and then we make them into beautiful bags. Wow. But also the beautiful thing around this is that when we produce these things, it's sent to Europe, and then we sell it in Europe, UK, and other parts. Like UK is one of our biggest markets where we produce for one of the prestigious museums in the world, which is the Victoria and Albert Museum. So from a Kaya carrying things for her to producing items for it to be used in the UK, it's a beautiful story, but also it's a story and a practice that the world should know about.
I'm told you recently gained international recognition, yes. And what's the name of the award again? H&M Foundation Global
Change Awards.
What did you say? H&M?
H&M
gave you an award for what you've been doing through Kantamanto and all of that.
Yes, please.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
What does that mean to you? How did you get there? How did they hear about you?
I think we were just doing what we were doing, and I think the world catched up on it and gravitated towards what we're doing. It is relevant to the global economy. H&M is a producer, is a brand, and I think as part of them taking responsibility, because the problem of the global fashion industry is the fact that one of the problems is that the brands are producing too much. So then it's a way of taking responsibility, but also recognizing the efforts of grassroots organizations and communities like Kantamanto Market. So it's not an award for me, it's an award for the community, showing relevance and appreciating what we've been doing for the world for decades.
Antivida, Patrol, I was saying a time ago, but collaboration here, when you are starting by 2 years in the pay, why shepe or better na he. Mr. Saina Eswabam for Swamao.
Onyankopando mfaso abaswama Kantamanto mining na enyamin kutu. You said the manona aya basana sa atete na yenya babi mpo a yede begu yehu yebebo paza na yakoto agu but omo etumi edandana ni de enema ma omoto ewe ye nchen ndi se no eboa ye na fe so de mehu wo omo no hwe Deuteronomy chapter 15 na 10:11 no say ohia ni mpawa sase so enye enema no nkoto todimpo enko ha omutumi hu mobrofo nso mobo akunafo yisa woni biefo nyina yakoka asem ne kire omo ontumi boa wom sika fam omo boa wom hospital ne ade nyina nti no na mamitumi manage amitumi edi omochi
ye de nyame ase Amina also kabibi kakra o namfofo na wonuanom a wonu omufri north by a omoye kaya yeah say wa upgrade ya o level abasro no also experience there na work afa home
kind de enye kura me ba akra ni de my funny my easy enye easy mami so the bia maso me kura me mame
waka baby
the bio
kasa na yeden kakra she's a bit emotional yeah she's a bit emotional as well but we can see the growth we can see the upgrade as well and that's why I love the mantra that you work with dignity over charity. Explain that mantra in closing and then tell us what else from here for revival.
I think when it comes to items that has to do with problems that need solutions, I think the best solutions to problems come from those that are in the problem. So the fact that we are championing the solution is something that instills dignity, and when you instill dignity into a group of people, it empowers them to keep doing what they're doing and do it better than the other way around, where it's charity. I think we've gone past that. It's more of collaborations, partnerships, rather than charity.
So that's what I was just going to ask. Are you open for more collaborations now? If anybody wants to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
Yes, we're open for collaborations anytime. Okay. Schools, we work with schools, universities, brands. You can reach out to us on social media. Our website is also active. Phone number is 0248081303. And you can visit us in Kantamanto Market. And I just want to add that Kantamanto is active, it's open. Please come and buy, come and patronize. And if you want to be sustainable, Kantamanto is a place for you to be.
Yaira, congratulations. I'm really happy what you're doing with all these women as well. Auntie Vida, yada se o buy. I mean na and so Charlie levels don't change. And I pay you we are sending me momo.
Yes. My boss no. Boss no there why there.
Why there me who say why there. Jumane ma baby. Thank you very much. Yaira Agbofa is the founder and creative director at the Revival Circulatory Lab, Kantamanto. Now, we need short form kakra. Say, "Yen kwala ne ikayo for ne to me aka."
Oh, so we kind of revival.
Revival, and net you koye ni. All right. Thank you very much for coming and for highlighting what you do to the world. Congratulations, and we wish you a lot more success.
Yes.
All right. Let's take a breather. When we come back, another conversation before we go. But please do cash out with our star 439#. We'll be right back.
How about this guy? How about this guy?
Well, if you're as confused as I am, there's an explainer to the video we are just seeing, and Joseph Akable is here to help us make sense.
In fact, there's a statement that is coming from the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, and it's titled Assault on a Security Officer at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital. A management of the Greater Accra Regional Hospital regrets to inform the public of an assault incident involving a security officer on duty at the hospital. In the case that on 18th of February 2026 at about 7:28 p.m., the security guard who was on duty at the labor ward was assaulted by an 18-year-old male, Gabriel Dempson, who had accompanied his mother and a friend to the hospital. The suspect was directed by the security officer to move to the reception area as it was unauthorized for visitors to stand at the entrance of the ward outside approved visiting hours. He refused to comply with the directive and proceeded to push the officer to the ground and physically assaulted him. The officer fell unconscious and was immediately attended to by doctors on duty. He remains on admission responding to treatment. And so that is a part of the statement that has come out.
So this gentleman in the blue shirt is the one who shoved him off or who pushed him?
Yes,
is that what happened?
Yes, that's the allegation.
So is that him unconscious or something? The security officer?
Yes, that's the security officer who is unconscious at this point in time.
Oh, my God. The PRO of Ridge Hospital, I'm told, is on the telephone lines with us this morning. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Cookie.
Yes, can I have your name, ma'am? I'm told you're Juliana.
Yes, that's Juliana.
Can you explain to us what happened? And if you can turn down the volume of the TV set, it would be of great help to us.
Thank you very much for having me. Good morning to you.
Yes, good morning.
Listeners. Yeah. So, as stated in the statement, that is exactly what happened. And, I always say that when it comes to security in the health sector, it's extremely important because, the hospital is a place where we care, a place where we care, and for that matter, everybody must be safe in the hospital. Again, I want to stress that the hospital has measures, we have policies in place, and we will urge the public to adhere, cooperate, and in fact, we need mutual respect from the public, from those who access the facility. You know, we have visiting hours. We have hours where clinicians attend to the patient. But it's quite unfortunate that sometimes we have people who think they can walk into the facility anytime, right? So, yes, the guy you see in the video is the one who pushed the security mask away from them because...
Juliana, please position yourself properly so we can hear you. I think we are struggling a little bit with the connection on your line, but we really want to understand what happened. So the gentleman in the blue carrying the security officer just unlawfully walked into the premises. Was he coming to visit somebody? Was he coming to receive medical attention? What was it?
Yes, so he was coming to visit a relative.
Okay.
Yes, he was coming to visit a relative, but it wasn't visiting hours. So, per our policy, we have time for visiting. We have time where the clinicians also do their rounds. So he was asked to move away from the lift ward to the reception where he could sit and then go in when it's visiting time. But it didn't get down well with him. So, in fact, that was what happened. He had to, and according to report, he the man, which we all see in the video.
So what did you do? What has happened to him? Has he been apprehended by security officials or anything, or he absconded? I want to understand the situation.
Yes, so as you speak now, the police has arrested him.
Okay.
And they are carrying out investigation. I'm sure they will update the public with the findings.
Okay, and how about the security guard? Is he in stable condition now?
Yes. He's still receiving treatment. He's on admission as we speak now.
All right. Juliana, thank you very much this morning. Please gather more information. I'm sure in our subsequent bulletins, we'll bring you the exact story or the full story of exactly what happened. But Juliana Haruna is the public relations officer at Ridge Hospital. Very unfortunate, huh?
Yeah.
Just when the Ghana Health Service has been talking about security and all of that. So is this gentleman telling us now that even in our hospitals, we need police and military people over there? Is this what he's saying? Because if that's the presence of the security guard is not deterrent enough, then I don't even know what we are supposed to do.
There's a second part that I'm reluctantly raising, but my observation senses can't let it go. I mean,
the way that everybody was just standing there?
Yes, he's unconscious, and the gentleman who has knocked him out is providing unnecessary assistance. That could even injure him more. This is not how you
I didn't even want to dwell on it right now.
But it's relevant. It's in a hospital.
And you see, that's another medical person standing right there.
It's in a hospital. You can't move someone who is unconscious in that manner. You may end up worsening the condition. So, I mean, apologies that I have to make this point, but we condemn the incident.
We didn't have enough time with Juliana because we need to go. But one of the questions I wanted to ask was why the gentleman was rather the one burdened. I mean, Tiasie, why? Oh, Jesus, I don't want to see that.
That's awful. That's awful.
No, it's all right, guys. It's been a lot for 1 week. It's been a lot for 1 week. Let's look at other issues so we can close. Very unfortunate, but I'm happy that he's in stable condition because anything could have happened. You know, anything could have happened to him. Whew, it's as well. It's as well. Anyway, Vitality Health Insurance is inviting all corporate institutions, associations, and groups to be part of their medical plans, cut down medical expenses, and enjoy good and quality healthcare at a facility near you. Now, for more information, you can visit vitalitymh.com, or you can also call 026-657-300-3200. I beg your pardon for more information. I'm a little disturbed with the pictures that I've just seen, but let's get ready for birthdays quickly. Well, Ghana Month is here. We've got expeditions underway, 4 different days with 4 different packages. As we move along, we'll give you a lot more information on that, but just make sure that you embark on this journey with us when it starts. Let's scroll the number for registration and for enquiries as well, so that our friends and family who are watching this morning can be part of this expedition. It's 4 days, all different packages for all these 4 days at different locations, including the Ashanti region, Eastern region, Central region, and all of that. But there's a number for you to call for all your enquiries, all your questions about ticketing and registration. 053-1100-927 or 0247-120633. It's Ghana Month Expedition. Please come aboard with us. Those are the packages on the screen. We'll be talking a lot more about it as the days get closer. Let's get into birthdays now so we can say goodbye. Happy birthday going out to you, Pastor Richard. Godspeed up here. God bless you. Titus Asante of Abusorokai Spare Parts, happy birthday. Prophet Samuel, happy birthday to you. Oh, this is a newborn. Brielle Sikapa Abba Ai, happy birthday, darling. Okay, Nana Isaba, happy birthday. Adobia Adia Pena Osei Boating, it's also your birthdays from Mom and Dad. Martin Abra Apa, happy birthday to you. Eliana Abba Imbia, happy birthday, cute one. Joseph Kofi Ayita, it's from all of us. We love you, Joe. Happy birthday. He's an amazing guy. Sometimes he doubles as a cameraman here in studio. Congratulations to you, Joseph. We are very, very proud of all your achievements. Happy birthday to you. Abigail Asante, PCG St. Paul Congregation, happy birthday to you, Abigail. Also celebrating Ko Emisa Ando, happy birthday. And also it's the birthday of Prince Che Ansa, aka Alaska. That's a beautiful suit. Happy birthday, Prince. Okay, Stella Ajua Denchi Esquire. Charlie, you have a mate here celebrating the birthday. All right. Victor Ni Odate Aye of Kaswa Blue Top Estate, house number 13, is from your daughter, Regina Aye, and the entire family. Happy birthday to you, sir. And Ajua Asamwaba Echampon, keep shining. Also celebrating Rich Love Ankara. Happy birthday, ma'am. Okay, Dr. Kovo, happy birthday to you as well. Wishing you long life and prosperity. Where's Chrisoa? Chrisoa was just sitting across from me moments ago. It's your birthday. He's one of the crew members we love so much here, TV3 Newday, and here at Media General. Chrisoa, happy birthday to you as well. Today, we are celebrating you. You are not the one sending the birthday. We are celebrating you. So, hey, now on your camera away from you. Wow, where the Titipa Christopher Soaskido, senior camera operator here at Media General. We wish you peace, love, and good health. It's from all of us, not just the tech people and the engineering department. It's from all of us here at Media General and here on New Day. Chris, you are amazing. All right, lover, we're done for the week.
Lover boy.
Why are you looking at me like that? But if I don't say it, you will come at
good
me
morning
and...
to Randa.
Those are the people who send you messages. Randa Shaw, yes.
Yeah, good morning.
What did Randa say? Yeah. The other day, I saw you stealing cases from Randa at the car park.
Hugs.
Hey, it was Hugs.
Yeah.
She's a lovely person, so it's understandable.
Absolutely.
Anyway, thank you for doing this with me today.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
Don't be coming only on Fridays. Come every day. The law people don't want to allow you to be great.
You see me on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
It's a promise.
Not really, but...
Whatever.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of our programming and have a...